Hey, what's up, YouTube? Oracle DBA girl here. Basically, I have an installation guide in front of you all. Basically, we're going to be installing OEM12c. Um, I'm going to upload this guide for anybody who wants it. I'll put it on my Google Drive. Feel free to download it if you want it. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. Um, I have supporting documentation. This is the document that I use to install this application. I'm installing it on Oracle Linux 6.5. I have two servers, database server and application server. Um, I'm installing, well, I already have Oracle Database 11203 on my database server, and the application will be installed on the application server. So all in all, this took me about 3 hours once I got it down to a science. The pre-configuration, what we're about to do now, this is going to take like maybe 30 minutes. And the download, well, the actual install of the application, it takes about, I'll say, a little bit over 2 hours. So, and it depends on how much RAM you have. I have 16 gigs, so I don't know if you have anything higher, it will probably be a lot less. We have prereqs, and then we also have configurations that we have to do on the database side, and we have just a few that we have to do on the application side, and then you can see we're going right into the installation. So I am about to go ahead and get started. Most of the prereqs I've already done. I can talk you all through some of them. You definitely want to install Oracle Linux on the database and the application server. You want to install your database on the database server. Once you do that, you want to ensure that your necessary ports are open on both servers. Since this is just my home environment, I just disabled my firewall. And the rest of them, well, you want to download the OEM software from eDelivery and extract it. You want to make sure that all your host files are updated on both servers. You want to make sure that it's updated on your application server and on your database server. I also made sure that they had my computer information as well. That way, all three of them is talking, and I know that they can connect to each other. Also, you want to take a snapshot of your environment after you do these things, because I would hate for you all to mess up something and then you have to start all the way over. As a matter of fact, I took one when I did this, and I took one after I did my packages, and I edit this file. But for the database, well, for the packages, you want to install them on the database server and the application server. These are all the packages, and I actually have the command for you here. I have all the commands, so you can just copy and paste the commands. I did have an issue with this one, so I just ran this command and it worked. Well, it stopped here, that entire command. So, okay, after you do your packages, you want to edit this file, the limits.conf. And I'm sort of going through this because, yeah, my channel has been geared towards people who are just starting. But if you're installing OEM, I can assume that you've been doing database work of some sort, and you have a clear understanding of the prereqs that you would need to do when installing the database, and this is one of them. But you just want to make sure that this is the 104 in this file is changed to 4096, and you want to make sure that you change the username to whatever username you're using on that particular server. Okay, and here you want to ensure that your temp space is 4 gigs. That's what this command does. this is actually where I am. And you want to do this on both server. So I'm going to log in and go ahead and complete this on both server. I'm already logged in to my database server. My database server is Oracle Test, and my application server is Oracle Test app. And I already did it here, but I may want to go ahead and do it again just to be on the safe side. Okay, I'm not logged in, so I'm going to log in there now and complete the command again. This is on my application server. Root can't do it. I need to be root. I need to change my host name to Oracle Test app. I can see that. Okay. And then here, I'm going to do the same thing. Well, I'm not logged in there either. Log in as root. The only thing about not having, I need to do that over. Okay, the only thing about not having this set permanently, every time you cut off your VirtualBox and cut it back on, you're going to have to manually type this command in. To change this permanently, it needs to be edited in the XCFS tab file. And my disclaimer is I'm not a Linux admin, a Unix admin, so I don't know how to make that change, but I am going to research and find out how. Okay, now that we have that out the way, we can go ahead and begin to configure the database server. Okay, so as you all can see, I have some parameters. We're going to want to change in the init file or in the SP file. Some of them are going to be changed in the SP file, and then others are going to be changed in the init file. And then we'll start up the init file later. So as you all can see, I already have the commands here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy. And let's see. I want to make sure my listener is up, because your listener definitely needs to be up for this installation. Listener control start test. Okay, it's already up basically. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and log into my database. Forgive my typing, I am not the best typer in the world. Okay, that one's done. Copy this one. And copy this one. Okay, for the redo log, the file have to be, the size have to be 300 megabytes. We're gonna do that in step 4. That's the main thing that we are doing, and that's one of the things that's gonna take up a little time. But if you do it now, you won't receive an error later. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue copying these. Let's see. And one more. Okay, so that's done. And we have the DB secure file. We're going to do this in step 3. We're going to add that to the init file. And we come down. Also, you see this memory target of 3 GB. They say that you can use this instead of using, earlier up here, we changed the SGA target to 2 GB. I've noticed that when I just leave the SGA target as 2 gigs, the application spit out a generic error telling me that they're going to change it So I just think it's better to go ahead so you won't run into that issue. We're going to change the memory target to 3G in the P file as well, though. So we're going to go ahead and create the P file. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add that file. So we're going to cd2. Forgive my typing. DBS. And once we get there, we're going to VI into our init file. And I'm just going to go to the bottom of this file and I'm going to add these 2 lines. If these are not added, you will receive an error. Okay, so now that we have that out the way, we're going to go ahead and change the size of the redo logs. And basically, to explain this a little bit, basically what we're doing is we're going to go see what I have. I can already tell you my files are not 300 megabytes because when you install Oracle database, whatever it's configured with, that's what I have, the out of the box setup. So we're going to see what the size is. Then we're going to create 3 more redo logs. And we're going to make sure that those are 300 megabytes. And then we're going to basically make sure that the old ones are inactive. And then we're going to drop the old ones from the database. And then we're going to delete the old ones. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Okay, this command here is basically going to just show you all the size. I'll go ahead and log into the database. That shows you the size. Okay, mine are 54 megabytes. And now this is going to show you your location. If you're not sure where your location is or your redo logs, that will show you where it is. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead and resize them to 300 megabytes. This command takes up, that's 3. So, well, no, that's right. Alter, yes. We want to do 4, 5, and 6, so that's correct. This command does take a second to run. So, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for these because it does take a while. I'll go ahead and create 4, 5, and 6. And once it's created, I'll restart. Also, while this is running, I will say this. I would prefer it if you type this out manually first before, instead of trying to type it in SQL+, because we're human, we're prone to make mistakes. So I would just type it out first, copy it, and paste it. Make sure that it's correct, and you're not making any mistakes. But I'm gonna pause this right quick. Be right back. Okay, as you all can see, I have database altered 3 times, so we're going to continue on. I'm going to show you all again what I have for the sizes. Okay, as you all can see, we have 4, 5, and 6 unused and 300 megabytes. We have 1 and 3 inactive and 2 is current. I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and explain what I have here. Let's see. Well, as you know, as a DBA, since this is current, we can't drop it right now. So instead of dropping this, what I'm gonna do is, the first thing I want to do is move this current to. It's different ways you can do it. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop 1 and 3 to get rid of them. And I have the command here. What you are trying to do is you are trying to get 4 to be current and the other 2, 5 and 6, to be inactive. You don't want 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna drop those basically. So that's 1, and then we have 3. So we know 2 is current and we want 4 to be current. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. You see this alter system switch log file? I'm going to do that command. Okay, that's done. Alright, now that that is done, we're going to go see our size again just to see what we have. Okay, 2 is active. That's not a good thing. It's still active. So what we're going to do, this command here is going to allow 2 to be inactive. Okay, that's done. And we want to look at it again. No, it's crazy, but you sort of have to go through these steps. 2 is inactive. So being that 2 is inactive, I'm going to go ahead and drop 2. So you all are going to have to play around with these steps until you can get it to where I have it. If I go back and I look at this, we have 4 current, 5 unused, 6 unused, and they're all 300 megabytes. So basically that part is completed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of here. And I'm going to go to my location of where my data files are. Okay, now that I have that, I'll do ls. As you all can see, we have redo log 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we just dropped 1, 2, and 3, so we're going to delete them here. Okay, so that's done. So now we're just going to keep it moving. Let's see what I have next. Okay, now we're going to start up the P file. So that the parameters we put in earlier, so that they will be started. So the first thing we're going to do is shut down the database. And in doing this, everything gets refreshed for the application download. Okay, that's down. So now we're going to go ahead and start up the P file. Oh, I saw. I need to go into the right location. Oracle Home DBS. Okay, now that I'm there, I'm going to start up the data. Well, I'm already going to the database. Okay, and now do startup P file equals inittest.org. Okay, so that's starting up. And as you all can see, I think earlier my SGA was like 100 or something. Let's see, can I see it? Nope, the database was already started. So I think it was like 1 gig. Now it's 3 gigs. So we just started up the P file, so we're good there. We have to now uninstall Enterprise Manager. And again, I have make sure the listener is up. So what we're gonna do is basically gonna copy this. And I changed my password to something generic for me. So I don't mind you all seeing this password. As you can see, I'm just copying and pasting. And what this is going to do is it's going to drop the enterprise manager that comes with the out-of-the-box installation. The local enterprise manager is asking for my SID. The port number is listening on, and am I sure that I want to drop it? Yes, I am. Now this is going to take a second. So being that this is going to take a while, I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back. We'll hit up the application server. Okay, so as you all can see, it says it's finished. It dropped it successfully. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the application server. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Didn't mean to go that far. Okay. Alright, I did my application server in yellow because I don't want to get the two confused. I'm already root, so basically I'm just going to copy and paste these commands. I don't think it will allow me because of the A right there, but I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I didn't think it would, so let me do this. Guess I don't have a choice. Okay, make directory -P, home, UO1, OEM12c, admin. Admin folder, I don't know where I picked this up, but I just like using admin for my order inventory. And for the second one, we want to do middleware. And for the third one, we want to do agent. For the fourth one, we want to do OMS. So now that we have those, we want to change the permissions on these folders. Copy 775, paste, and MDW, agent, and OMS. Okay, so that's done. So now we want to change the ownership. Change owner -R, OEM, and paste. So MWD, agent, and OMS. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Now we're going to run installer. Depending on what operating system you are on, the command is going to be different. I'm on a Mac, so mine is going to be -X. Everybody else's, I think, on a Windows is going to be, what is this? It's been so long since I used the Windows. You got to open X Launcher, the application. So I'm going to log out and log back in. Okay, now that that is open, I'm going to go to my staging directory, and wherever your staging directory is, that's where you want to go to download this. And I'm not in my staging directory. Okay, there we go. Hurry up and wait. Okay, it should pop up now. Okay, we're going to uncheck this and hit next. Yes, and I'm going to go through this fast because you all have uh, the guide at this point. I'm gonna skip that. Okay, it's asking for my order inventory. So home, UO1, and open that. I'll leave it there. Okay, now we're gonna run through this. Everything should pass fine, which it did. I have all succeeded, so I'm gonna hit next. Okay, and I'll do advanced here. For my middleware home, I am going to choose, I'm sorry, home UO1 middleware. Okay, and then here I want to do home, what did it ask me? Agent. Okay, agent. Okay, it's the host name. I don't know why, you guys, but I just like doing www. It could be because we're used to typing it in so much, so I'm going to put www. But in a real environment, you wouldn't put www. Okay, it's just basically telling me that it recognized my host name to be oracletestapp.com, but I'm changing it to www. If you don't change it, you shouldn't get that. But I'm cool with that, so I'm going to hit OK. So then next, okay, so here we're going to do, put my password in, put my password in, put my generic password in, and put my generic password in. Okay, here it's asking for OEMS. I created a directory for the home, for the OMS home. And then I'm gonna do GCINST on the end of it. So there we go. Okay, this is basically the screen where it wants to connect to my database. So I'm going to say oracletest.com, that's the host name. And for my port is 1555. My SID is test. And my system password, my generic password. And I'm going to hit enter. Being that it's taking a second, that means we have liftoff. It's connecting just fine. If there's an issue, you're going to know it right then and there. And I just know it because I've ran through this thing a lot of time doing installation. Okay, now this should be the only screen that you receive if you did all the parameters that we talked about. For this one, they will fix it for you. I'm just going to hit yes. If you look at this note, it says to let the installer fix the issue automatically, click yes. And everything else should be fine. So I'm going to hit next again. Okay, wait, sorry, went too fast there. Okay, so it's asking for a password again. I'm going to put in generic information. Okay, so here I want this to be in the admin folder. All these right here, they can stay the same. But for this, I want this to be in the admin folder. So now I'm just going to do next. Okay, so here we have the ports. The ports are normally different. And, well, you have an enterprise manager and you have a console for your web logic. I normally like for those to be the same, but I'm not sure which one is the web logic. So I'm going to place you all on hold to get this correct. I will be right back. I'm back, you guys. I forgot which one it is, but you know, I would prefer to type in one port number versus having two and three for different websites. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit next. Okay, so this is just a summary. So you probably just want to go over this and make sure that everything is set up. But I'm more than confident that everything is set up correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit install. Okay, so uh, this is the part what I told you it takes about 2 hours. It's going on 2 o'clock now, so I'll probably check back in a little while, maybe around 50%. It tends to go pretty fast, just to let you all know so that you won't know that you'll know anything isn't wrong. It does okay from, I would say, here to like maybe 30 or 40 something. When it gets to 40 something, it's gonna start slowing down. When it gets 52, it's just gonna halt forever. And that's when it's doing its thing with the archive logs. And that's why the archive logs need to be at 300 megabytes. And it's gonna stay at 52% for the longest. And after that, it's gonna chug going through. I think it's gonna go up to like 60 really fast. Then it's gonna go up to like 70, and then 80, and then 91, and then it's done. I know you all can tell I've done this for a few times, but yeah, as you all can see, this only took. I'm not sure how long we've been taping, but yeah, I've went through it because you know, as DBA, you want to be able to do your process over and over again without changing. If anybody comes behind you, they should be able to use your documentation and do the exact same thing you've done. So I'm just gonna pause this. I'll probably come back at 50% and we'll see where we at and we'll just go from there. Okay, you guys, we're halfway through and I just wanted to point something out. Um, this takes a long time from what I can tell is because it's doing everything it has to do with the repository. Right here is checking the prereqs for uh, you know, the database. The RCU is doing its things basically. It's creating the table spaces. I believe if we go over here and we look in, let's see, home. Huh, I wonder. Trying to get to my file system. I apologize. Okay, we come here. You all can see we have 3 new table spaces, and those were just created. So it's just basically doing its thing there. And as you all can see here, the redo logs are moving. So that is gonna take up time. I'm gonna do some research, but I'm wondering if I would have set the redo logs even higher, would this go even faster? I'm not sure, but that's research that I have to do. Um, it's at 50% now, and it's really slow now. It's doing its thing. If you click on the logs, this is what I wanted to point out. Uh, Looking at these logs, it's been going like this for a really, really long time. And it's going to continue to go like this. It's just going to say that it's running. You're going to see this for a while. For me, I know it always halts at 52 for a really long time. So it's probably going to be there for about an hour or so. And I just want to show you all what I see, so that you all will know when you're seeing this is not an issue, because it's going to stay here. If you don't get an error, you don't have an error. And if you follow along these steps, you should be okay. So I'm going to pause it and I'm going to go grab me something to eat. I don't know what I want. I may be going for a second, but to you all, it won't be that long. So I will see you all shortly. I'm about to go get my grub on. Okay, YouTube, I'm back. I'm not sure where it is. It's at 100% actually. So I have to run these scripts. Pull this up. Okay, and I'll open another terminal. So let's see. The first script is located. Okay. An admin. Gotta be root. Okay, so that's done. So for the next one, we're gonna go, I think we're gonna go back one and then do M. Okay. So then here we go into OMS and that's running. So that's done. Hit OK. Okay. Let me copy this just in case I'll need this screen. Shouldn't, but it won't hurt anything. Okay, so I have that. Close this. Hit close. And let's start this bad boy up. I'll open Google Chrome. And if I do, .com 7802, it's already up there from my last install. Okay, so it's telling me that my connection is not private, and basically, you know, that's because of the security, the certificate I meant to say. So I'm gonna just proceed. Voila, OEM. Cloud Control 12c. I'll go ahead and sign in as sysman and type in my generic password. So as you all can see, we are in. I'll deal with this later. Let's do I accept. Hurry up and wait. Not sure what's taking so long. Okay, there we go. So I like the summary page, but you can choose either one, whatever you like. I like the summary page. So I'm gonna do summary, and it should take me there. It's still spinning. Okay, so as you see, this page is successfully set as my home, and it's just talking about changing it, but basically it's already picked up some targets. Basically it's just monitoring. I can't talk, but it should be monitoring everything on the Oracle Test app server. Right now it is not picking up anything from Oracle Test. We have to put an agent on that host, so we will do that next video, and we will go from there. Everything here is just application server. So the next video, we will pick up the database. Like right now, if we go to databases, there's nothing there. You should get like a little generic page. Yeah, and see, there's nothing here. There's no members because we haven't located it. So the next video, we're gonna add host. We're gonna add a host. We're gonna add a host to the database server. We're gonna add an agent. That's what I was trying to say. We're gonna add an agent to the database server, and we will pick up that. And I'll also show you how to just add targets, and we will go from there. I hope you all enjoyed this installation, and we'll do a few videos in OEM12c, and then by then I'll be ready to go ahead and install OEM12c. So hope you all enjoyed this interview. Look at me, I'm saying interview, I'm sorry. Hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Any questions, feel free to ask. If anybody had issues, feel free to ask. I'm going to upload the documentation. And you all like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much for all the support. Definitely keep the emails coming, you guys. I appreciate it. A lot of times I wake up and I do read a lot of this stuff you all inbox me, and then sometimes when I'm having a hard day at work, I'll come back and I'll look at the comments. I just want to say thank you, because the comments, they keep me going, and I know that I'm helping you all out. And hey, I'm gonna keep on doing this. I love making these videos as much as you all enjoy watching them. But y'all be blessed, have a good weekend. Signing off, Oracle DBA Girl.